Good evening and welcome to the 43rd episode. Today I want to re-emphasize a point from my previous one. When somebody says don't compare, you can't actually execute that because the comparison trigger is automatic. The only thing we can do is to repurpose the trigger using a technique we call tiny shift that Kumar and my co-founder developed. We covered that in episodes 8 and 9. Please go through that. In the comment section of my previous post, my mentee Srivatsan posted a fantastic suggestion. He said we can use gratitude to solve the problem. And he is right. As we feel more and more grateful, we actually feel very good about who we are and where we are at in life. So that automatically reduces the comparison trigger or shuts it down. So thank you Srivatsan for that suggestion. For the longest time, I believed that there is two kinds of people, optimists and pessimists, and that's how life can be explained. In the last few years, I came across this concept of a prevention focused versus a promotion focused, which is covered in this book, Focus, by Dr. Heidi Grant Halvorson and Dr. Tory Higgins. It's a groundbreaking and brilliant concept. It set off light bulbs in my head. It explains so many of my experiences and conflicts that I have and I continue to have. In this book, they cover how we make decisions, how we love, how we work, how we parent, how are we parented, what kind of messages attract us. Everything in our life is governed by this concept, which truly is remarkable, and you should read this book. So they say that we have three self concepts, not one. One is obvious, the actual self, who we are. We also have two other selves, the ideal self, which is I want to be more muscular, I want to be fitter. And we achieve the ideal self through a promotion focused approach. On the other hand, we also have a ought self. I ought to lose fat, I ought to lose weight. And we approach that in a prevention focused manner. And both these are influenced by the parenting style that was adopted for us. They have a whole chapter on parenting and how it influences our ideal and odd self. So over time, one of them becomes dominant for us. And the gap between the ideal, odd and the actual is what drives us on a daily basis. Now let me talk about how the motivational fit is more important for happiness than achievement of the goals itself. So if you are a promotion focused person and you approach the goal through promotion focus, you are happy. And if you are prevention focused and you take a prevention focused approach to the goal, you are happy. But if you switch these two around, you will be unhappy even if you reach the goal. So let me give an example from my own life. I am promotion focused dominant. And in the example of my fitness program, I tell myself that this is the biggest gift I can give my family. That's what drives me to the gym and makes me happy. Whereas when it comes to my daughter, I seem to be prevention focused. She runs home one day and says, Mom and Dad, I am going to Lonavala near Mumbai with my class for an excursion. And we are in Chennai. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, wait, who is going with you? Unless mom or I is allowed to go, you can't go. So my prevention focus has kicked in. So we have a dominant focus as well as a contextual trigger where the focus might shift. So how do we distinguish these two people? The promotion focused people have a overall eager approach. They want to achieve gains and achieve success and they are more focused on the why. Whereas the prevention focused people have a more vigilant approach. They want to avoid loss, avoid failure, and they are more focused on how something needs to be done. And there are many more attributes that distinguish the two, which you can read in the book yourself. Now, how do we find out who we are? And that book gives a simple tool. If it's easier for you to come up with the ideal self, I want to become fitter and so on, you are likely promotion focused. Whereas for prevention focus, it's easier to come up with the odds. I ought to lose fat, I ought to lose weight and so on. In our own research, we came up with a couple more techniques. You list down 5 good outcomes and 5 not so good outcomes from your recent past, where you and your team are involved. And for each of those outcomes, you rate your contribution for the outcome from a 0 to 10 scale. if on the good side you are taking more credit for the successes, that is scoring yourself more than 5 or 6, you are likely promotion focused. On the not so good side, if you are taking more blame for the failures, that is you are scoring yourself more than 5 or 6, you are likely prevention focused. There's one more. In medicine, we have this concept of a placebo effect. So let's say you have a headache and I give you a pill and I say this is going to cure you, and you believe that and it gets cured. Even if it's a sugar pill, you are likely experiencing placebo effect, which means you are promotion focused. But if I tell you that you take this medicine and you are going to experience these side effects, and you do end up experiencing them, you are probably experiencing nocebo effect, which means you are likely prevention focused. With that, I thank you all for listening to my coverage of the brilliant book Focus by Halvorson and Higgins. And let me be amongst the first to wish you all and your families a spectacular New Year 2020. I'll be on my annual year-end break, and I'll resume this series on January 8th, 2020. See you all then.